Hi, my name's Shawn Shaler. That guy up there is my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter fame. And Chris, we're really milking book 4 of Korra here. We're really stretching it out. As long as we're going to hit that live action series, it's going to roll right into it. It's going to be great. Or maybe something else will be done that we will run into and get to observe and or watch that we'll talk about today, maybe, or maybe not. I don't want to jump the news. Chris, first and foremost, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. My birthday was 2 days ago, whenever that was. Just fine, just a birthday. Just a yearly celebration of my birth, which means nothing. Not that it means nothing. It's just I never celebrate my birthday. It's fine.
We
It's just
we
never done.
do ruin a bit of our own birthdays by being the people that buy ourselves our own things. Like the one thing that you could look to about the birthday is like, oh, getting something cool, but it's like we already do that.
Yeah.
So we kind of
This
ruin it ourselves.
this is my epiphany for my 34th birthday. Um, so I did not get anything for my birthday because I did not ask like my wife or anything for my birthday because I'm blessed enough to be in a position that I have everything I could want. And to not want anything is a gift in itself.
That's beautiful. But also, like, if my wife said something similar to that, I would still get her something just to be safe. It's like a small something, she doesn't like flowers, but like chocolates or something. I would make sure that I covered my bases just in case.
Although I am thinking about considering getting an Oculus. Like those look, I don't know.
I
It's,
want a Quest 2 really bad.
yeah, Quest 2, that's what they're called.
Yeah, I want a Quest 2. I know Facebook is the devil, and I know you have to have the Facebook login, but
All the reviews on it, like I go on Amazon, the reviews are like from people who don't really have it. They're just like, no way. I don't want to have Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
I'm not giving Facebook my
Mhm.
eyeball identity, whatever.
Like that
Like,
that's not to me, that's not a legit review of
yeah, just tell
of
me
the
if the product
thing.
is good. Let me decide if I'll send the devil money. Okay?
Yeah. One thing, and it's like, oh, it lets you listen like your phone is listening in to everything. Like I will legit not search anything, just talk about something, and I will get recommendations for things I've just talked about. I have not like physically searched. You know what? You got to live in this situation where you're just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Like I know it's an invasion of privacy to a large extent, but I'm like,
you know
yeah,
what, man? I am
that's
happy to sacrifice some privacies for some of the big picture good. I don't like using the phrase the greater good, but some of the big picture good that comes out of it.
yeah.
You know what? I will sacrifice some of my privacy so that somebody can see me illegally streaming the Golden State Warriors game right now. That's fine. I'll take that one for the team.
And the thing is, like, the Oculus apparently is like really cheap compared to other the
It's
Quest
very
2.
similar quality for
Yeah,
$100 to $400 less depending on what you're looking at.
yeah. And but like, because someone's like, man, how do they even do that? It's like, oh, because Facebook has data.
Yeah.
Like they're more interested in the data. I'm like, all right, that seems like a pretty fair trade.
There's
I would eventually save $400 to $1,000, and you get whatever data from me that
Yeah, why
that
not, man? There's this stupid game that I love, and it's on the Quest. I played it on the original Quest, so I would assume maybe it looks just a little better on Quest 2, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But it's just a football game, but it just like recognizes arm actions, right? So you're the quarterback, so you take the snap and you throw the football. That's the whole game, but it recognizes like trajectory and like how hard you throw the football and that stuff. I loved it. I played it like an hour. It was stupid. I was moving around like an actual quarterback. It doesn't recognize your quarterback moving, but it does like rotating. It recognizes that. And
yeah.
and I played it for like an hour, and I was like a child, and then my mom, like, this is as a grown man, like 3 months ago, my mom had to hit me because we were going to be late to whatever thing that we were supposed to go do. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I just should buy one of these to
I do
have.
hear that the Quest 2 was a big improvement over the Quest 1
Yeah,
and
I don't.
$100 cheaper.
Yeah, I don't know if it's is that going to make the games look slightly better, or the games just where they're at, but you got a better screen, or what? I don't know the
Yeah.
last thing about it. But all I know is I'm in the same boat. I've been kind of eyeballing. Maybe Christmas time we'll talk each other into it, or we'll do a Christmas thing where I get you one and you get me one. It'll be beautiful. Yeah. No, same boat. Absolutely. Happy belated birthday. Looks like you had some ice cream. At least that's a win.
As
Yeah,
one.
that's the gift that keeps on
Other
giving.
other other epiphany that I had is
I liked your other
you
epiphany
know
for the record.
yeah. Don't care what the science says. The endorphins from eating ice cream is much greater than the endorphins from working out.
I don't get endorphins from working out. I think that is a lie. I work out sometimes, there's no endorphins from it. There's just pain and suffering.
Yeah.
Um, Chris, I did. What did I do this week? Oh, I started watching the Winning Time as I finished Peacemaker, which I liked, and then I started watching Winning Time, and I am gonna finish it because I do think John C. Riley's doing a great job. I like where they
Hmm.
throw the original clips, like the actual clips of stuff in there on occasion. Like I like whatever like the I don't even know how to say it, like the old
The
actual clips.
blurry. Those aren't old. I don't think those are old actual clips. I think
What
they
about the ones
filmed
with the
those
cutouts
and
or those
then
that just supposed to look? I kind of like that. It's weird.
I
Okay,
think
so
they edited. That's yeah. That was a choice. I think.
yeah, so I kind of dig that. I don't know why, but like watching some guy that maybe it feels like I'm supposed to know beat Magic Johnson in a game of basketball at a party, and it just pisses me off how we had to like add this extra flair of drama to everything. Is like I want to
Hmm.
ask Magic himself. There's no way that he just got beat by some dude at a party. I won't have it. It's there for the sake of drama,
So
and I
that
hate it.
guy. I'm sorry. We'll get to Avatar. We promise. But that
Yeah, we
guy
need
who's
to soon.
playing
Yeah, I can't hang out forever.
I know. That guy who plays that character, that's his father. Like he's the son of him.
Oh, no kidding.
And yeah,
Well,
like
that's
no,
kind of
the
cool.
casting on this show I think was just really great.
Yeah.
Um,
The guy who
but no,
plays
he
Magic
looks like his
Johnson,
dad too.
the guy
Not
who
Magic
plays Magic,
Johnson.
no, the guy who plays Magic Johnson
Yeah.
though looks
Oh
like
yes,
he's
he's
a
great.
really good facsimile.
He has the smile of Magic Johnson, like some of the charisma. Probably Magic is probably way more egotistical than we think he is.
That's
Uh,
well, that's what
but
these shows do. Man, that makes me
no,
mad
I mean, I think
repeatedly.
in real life, I think in real life he's more egotistical than that. Like
Okay,
there
yeah,
was, I just watched a recent clip of like the Dream Team practicing, and Magic just goading everybody, be like, "Nah, we about to win this," and how like the game was supposed to be over, but he did not want to lose to Michael Jordan and stuff. So,
I just
but
it's one of those things where I think it's a good story without the extra garbage, and I don't need it, and it made me mad. But I'm kind of hooked on John C. Riley's performance, and the guy who plays Jerry West, I kind of oddly like him for whatever reason. Both
I
in this,
love the guy.
I think
Okay,
he's
that
crushing
is
it.
probably the greatest deviation because
Yeah,
I was watching, and at
because
first I thought, oh, maybe
Jerry
this
West
actually
is
different.
not a insane person. I
But
mean,
Is it John Sally? You know who John Sally is?
the basketball
Uh,
player.
yeah, basketball player.
Yeah,
He played for the Lakers. He also played for
Pistons.
Pistons. Yeah, Bad Boys Pistons.
Yeah,
And like he was like Jerry West is nothing like that. Like Jerry West does not. If Jerry West is gonna yell at you, he'll just pull you in close, and he won't like cuss at you. Just say, "Boy, you better get your butt to something." So that is definitely the greatest. I think probably the greatest
that's good
difference.
deviation because it's clearly not like supposed to be taken as
Yeah.
seriously. I don't think so. I was
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
about that
Well,
part.
he's my favorite character, actually.
I think no, I think he's
I,
mine too. I
I
just
get it, Jerry West. You don't like Jerry West, but I love the Jerry West, and I understand it's a show. I'm not
yeah.
one thing. They're very clear, I think, in the disclaimer, like, hey, this is kind of very dramatization.
Well, as you're
But
watching the
anyway,
show too, when John C. Riley's like talking at the camera and he's like, "Watch me paddle, mother effers," like, okay, yeah, you're not supposed to
yeah,
take that show serious that you're watching when you hear that
uh,
on screen. That's a signal. No offense, Jerry West. Like I understand why you're upset, but no,
yeah,
that was a good deviation. But no, I just couldn't handle Magic Johnson getting beat at this party. But
yeah. They said that didn't happen.
I hated it. It's like you don't have to put. He was an underdog, but not really. Like you don't have to be an underdog to be a good
Mhm.
story. He was not really an underdog. It's fine. Whatever. I'm gonna finish it because I like enough about it. Anyway, that's all I've got for this week. I've watched actually a surprising amount of basketball and basketball related television this week. That's been my whole life. But I'm ready to talk about some Avatar news now, if you are.
Okay, Avatar News, everybody. Okay, so according to avatarnews.co, I don't know who this person's source is and things, but Avatar News.co has been pretty accurate on like everything that they report. And so, I would not take it with a grain of salt. I would take it with like, I don't know what the middle ground is there. But anyway, that said, we got some updated information
Are you trying
on.
to say you take it with more than 1 grain of salt or less than 1 grain of
I take
salt?
it with half the salt shaker
Okay, that's
of
fair.
salt. Yeah.
So a good pile of salt. But you know what? Somewhere in that pile of salt, so far, everything else we've cited from this place, or read or learned from this place, has had seeds of truth at a
Yeah.
minimum. At a minimum.
I don't know where the most recent news is that I'm looking. Anyway, they're saying that the
Is this one right? These two right
yeah,
here?
go to that first one there. Go to that first
Paramount
one.
original series coming from Avatar
Yes.
Studios. Wait,
Jeez. Okay. Well,
I
that's
tried to click on the news, but I think I did not do that. That's probably my problem. Come on, internet.
um. Oh, 6 point game. Anyway.
What in the world? Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
You
I know
start
off the top of
talking.
my
I'm
head.
gonna try
Okay.
to pick it.
All right. But anyway, the news is that they're working on two projects. Um, one, the first one that come out will be like a prequel, and they don't really just say like what time or anything, just that pretty much it's a prequel to sometime um, before before Avatar: Last Airbender series. And so I feel like it could be one of a couple different things. Um, Either, I mean, you could probably find it on their Twitter. Yeah, just go to their Twitter. Their Twitter probably has easier
I
to
know,
find
but
it.
I feel so misled that I can't just click on the news article to
Yeah.
read the news
Yeah.
article. That feels uh,
So
unfriendly to
yeah.
me.
So I feel like they're going to do so if it's a prequel. Yeah, often in these news stories they're showing pictures of Avatar 1 because that's very prequel-ish, but I highly doubt they do a story about Avatar 1 just because I feel like his story was like very I mean sure you can add some more, but his story felt very complete,
Kind of
you know?
open and shut. Yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah. Um yeah, so here's the news. Shawn, I can't really read that. You want to read it?
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to read the whole thing? It's not very long.
Second paragraph.
Second paragraph. The time period the prequel movie will be set in is not confirmed. Basically, anything before Sokka and Katara free Aang from the iceberg can be considered a prequel, so not necessarily directly connected to the original. It could be Wan, Kyoshi, Iroh, etc. Just guesses. Uh, I don't think Kyoshi. I think Kyoshi's got to get the attention in the novels. I'd love it, but I don't feel like they'll go back to the Kyoshi well. I don't feel like Juan for the same reason you did. I could kind of see Iroh just from like fan poll. I don't know if
Hmm.
I want that.
Yeah, that's, you know what? I wasn't. So I was thinking that most likely they would go with Kyoshi
Okay,
because she's a fan favorite. She
true.
has a very um she has a very detailed origin and stuff and it'll be really interesting to see Mike's take on it because Mike was not involved with Kyoshi novels. Mike was. Bryan was not. And Mike was kind of just like guiding it, I guess keeping probably FCE and kind of probably in like certain guardrails like that. But I think Kyoshi would be a really good prequel. I don't think it's Roku because Roku's story I feel like was told. I think it's
I
another
if they did a
Avatar.
Kyoshi, I trust your instincts more than I trust my own. If they did a Kyoshi, would you think they would tell one of the stories from the novel, or do you think we'd get
I
old
think
Kyoshi? I hope.
I think they would tell the story straight from the novels,
I
and
I wouldn't be upset, but I would be disappointed.
I would love it because I love that story.
I love
It'll be
it, but
interesting though because like
I just
you'll
want to
start
hear more.
you'll start thinking like, well, what is canon, right? Because I'm sure they would want to take some type of deviations from
Yeah.
that if they're adapting it. I mean, what's canon is
Well,
whatever
Avatar
Bryan says
Studios
is
then at
canon
that
to me.
point is canon, right? Like no
Yeah.
offense to
Yes.
the novel's
Yes.
oversight, but whatever. But
Yeah.
I want to see old Kyoshi if that's what you're gonna do,
Yeah.
even if it's a story we already know, like breaking off of Kyoshi Island, but like tell the whole Like, we don't know enough about that story that I wouldn't want to watch that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Um, but I do think Iroh's is a potential story. That would be kind of cool.
It is.
I
The
mean,
only
I've
thing
always
with
said I want to see
Iroh is
more
that
out of
we
it.
are very familiar with how it all
Yeah.
goes. Like, we know more details about it, so it feels like there's less to fill in. But I'd still be stoked to hear an
Yeah.
Iroh story.
I just think no matter what prequel wise, it'll be an Avatar that we know. Because if not, it's gonna take place again in like pretty much the same type of landscape and industrialness. Like you won't
Yeah.
feel like there's anything new if there was just another Avatar. And so having a new Avatar doesn't feel that appealing, I
Yeah,
guess.
give us. I hope it's not Avatar Zito, like him just sitting in his office, like scribbling on a paper, and
Doing taxes.
then he just like sighs, like, and he goes
We're
back to
down year
scribbling.
over year. We're down year over year in grain GDP.
And the Avatar brand just doesn't command as much respect these days. We're doing terrible at the polls.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the prequel aspect of it. Um, so then also they say that the other time period is a Zuko movie will be set in also not confirmed. I think the Zuko movie will be The Search. Like they've already
Okay.
thought about doing the Search movie some time ago, and they didn't do it for whatever reason. It was
Okay.
like in very, very early development.
I
And
think that's
so
the
I think,
story that fans would want to most see on screen concerning Zuko.
yeah, yeah, because I mean, because, and after that, well, I'm not sure.
I
I mean,
want to see
if
Zuko and
it's
Sokka
Zuko,
crime fighting in Republic City, just like brothers in arms crime fighters in their like 50s in Republic. That's what
hmm,
I want to see.
if I if it's not the search, I would love to see a Zuko Azula story, right? So I think it'd be kind of cool to get a main story that's not focused on the Avatar, because the Avatar isn't the only interesting thing about the Avatar universe. Like the
It's
whole
like the Star
universe
Wars going back
is,
to the Palpatine pool over and over again. Like, you don't have to,
yeah.
right? It's a big world out
I
there.
mean, I would give Avatar more of a pass for that because the Avatar is the most important person.
It's the
Like,
name of the game. It's the whole, but
yeah, like,
but
and
no,
that
it's a
person
big
is
world out
always
there.
reborn, and that person's always, and it's a different person each time, so it doesn't. It feels kind of fresh each new time.
You know, Star
And
Wars has
but
a whole
like
universe.
Star Wars is like, hey, just Skywalkers when it comes to the movies.
Star Wars fans are
But
like,
then
"Hey,
like,
remember that game Knights of the Old Republic that everybody loved?" And Star Wars is like, "Yeah, cool, but what about Palpatine? Huh?"
yeah, um,
Okay, yeah, I'll give Avatar a little more pass, but just point. It's a big world. It doesn't have to be
it's
an
a very big
Avatar
world. It doesn't have to
story.
be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be very
Unlike you, though,
focusing on the Avatar.
I don't want an Azula redemption story.
I knew you'd say that.
She can just stay
Not,
evil. That's fine.
I don't, I don't want redemption. I don't want full redemption, but I want.
She can just be an evil monster. Like that's.
Nah, I don't even want to be. To me, the evil monster was Ozai, and he will always be the evil
He
monster.
was too shallow.
Azula,
Azula is the actual evil monster. Ozai
but
was like the
to
like a
me,
dumb
evil
puppet.
monsters are. Oh, you can probably take out the story now.
Oh yeah. Just keep staring at this article
But to
instead of our
me,
faces.
yeah, to me, evil monsters are always shallow. And Azula to me isn't shallow. To me, she's very deep. So I think that deepness requires not a full character arc, but at least character exploration.
I'm okay with exploration, but if we get to a place where people start like propping up Azula in sort of a positive way, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it.
I say keep. I would love for her to become maybe not even an anti-hero, but anti-hero might be a character that you just understand more, and a character who you can
Ew,
empathize
there's like a
with,
big spider
but
in
not
my. Do you
necessarily.
see the spider like crawling down
Um,
there? That's messed up, man.
oh man, you remember that one time the spider came down and I
It's like right
killed
there.
it?
Can you see it? All right. You keep talking. I'm gonna grab some shoes or something. Ooh. Oh no, it's leaving. I gotta get it before it leaves. You
Yeah.
keep rolling. I'll get it.
Okay. Um, but I would love for Azula to get to a point where where her and Zuko's relationship is in a much better place. where she isn't like full on evil, where she understands, she has a better grasp of the whole world and not just the throne that she's been wanting and sitting on. Definitely don't want her to be good. Don't want her to be on Team Avatar. I just want her to be more realized, to understand, to have a better feel of the world around her. So, and I want Zuko to be the one that helps her realize these things. Like Zuko won't be able to push her to the good side, but he'll be able to pull her away from going down the dark path of self-destruction,
Fun fact
or
about
just do the
me.
search.
Fun fact about Shawn, I'm scared of spiders. I'd be down to seeing the search, and I think a lot of fans would be down to seeing the search.
They would, yeah.
I
Almost, I would
think.
almost like a
Excuse me.
three arc movie, right? It goes to Search, then it goes Smoke and Shadow, and then like years later it picks up like Zula and Zuko are like 20 some years old. Oh, also goes into my fan theory of of Azula being Izumi's mother and Zuko adopting her, which I love that fan theory that I created myself.
That would
But
be listen. That would just prove that they listened to your YouTube channel, that Brian and Mike.
mm,
That'd be
yeah.
proof that we've all been waiting for.
My random
um,
dream one day, and random tangent, but Avatar related. Hey, right? We hosted a panel at Comic-Con. If you guys don't know that by
oh,
now.
Chris, that wasn't a dream. That really happened.
No, but that's not. So, but my dream is, like, no, I want to host a panel with like Janet Varney, Dante Bosco on it. Like, imagine they'll go to Planet Comic-Con and one year, right? And they'll be like, hey, we need someone to host this Avatar panel. Well, we had those one guys that did that trivia.
Man, that one
Like,
guy needs some questions. We got to get that guy in front of Janet Varney and
like
Dante Bosco.
they would have they would have probably gotten like seven answers correct.
Yeah, I mean, they don't strike me as like in the details trivia knowledge level
Yeah. Oh
about.
my gosh. So I really wanted to actually Gray Delisle, who voices Azula. Speaking of Azula, she was on the recent episode of Braving the Elements.
And
And
she
at
is
the
on
end
every
there,
episode of every show ever, also, in case you didn't
that's
know.
true.
It
Oh, it
feels
was a
like
great
it
episode of
sometimes.
Braving. It was a really great episode of Braving the Elements though, because like she did voices where you're just like, that's a no, there's a third person on this call on whatever it is. Like that's not Gray Delisle. She's so talented.
Since starting
And
this podcast with you, she has become my most appreciated voice
mm,
actor, for sure.
yeah, yeah. And then and even Janet has a pretty good Azula impersonation. That's why so she does it and like she walks her through talking like Azula. It's really good. Really good episode. They barely talk about Avatar. I mean, they actually talk about Avatar plenty. But what was my point that I was getting to? Oh,
You had a
at the end of
dream.
it,
That was a
she was
tangent
like
off of a tangent.
at the end of it, she was like, oh yeah, and Listen Korra got the voice, Ming-Na, and also like the
Put your arm back
girlfriend
down. Your
to
microphone went funny.
oh sorry.
Okay. So, yeah,
She was
so
like,
that was weird. When your arm is up,
huh.
like you were totally inaudible, and then as soon as you take it down, that's crazy. Okay, sorry.
She was like, I was Ming-Na, and I got to be the and Zahir was my boyfriend, and like it was voiced by Henry Rollins. I just love Henry Rollins so much. Like, oh my gosh, I just had the biggest crush on him and stuff. And then I didn't respond. I didn't like tweet out anything, but I was like, no, you play Ming-Na. You didn't play Pali. Pali was the one who was the girlfriend to to Zahir. But I'm not that. Uh, hmm, not I'm just not that person.
Yeah, not that kind of call out guy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, yeah, I hope that I just hope that when we get a panel or when we ask for a panel next year that we can somehow sneak in the fact that we did it last, like, because they're not just gonna like recognize us, right? I just hope that we have the opportunity to be like, return for our second year, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
like do they do reviews? Like do they ask the people, you should ask your friend, like do they have
oh,
asked them like, hey, how many people came to that panel? And then she'll be like, it was packed.
uh,
But anyway,
that's a good question. I'll ask her and see what she says.
okay. Other than that, Avatar news, I think that's really it when it comes to Avatar news. No, looking forward to more stuff, more news coming out. I feel like when it comes to the show, to the Netflix show, Netflix Geek, which is like their own comic for geek, is coming up in like a month. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some first pictures. Like they'll be done shooting that show next month, I think, for the first season.
I think we got Dragon Prince new season late this year as well, which I'm kind of excited about. I know
Yeah, they need to pick that up. I lost a lot of like I
it's
need to
been
rewatch it
it's been
to
years.
regain my excitement for it.
It feels like the last season, season
Was
three,
like
that
what,
feels like
2018?
it was at least 3 years ago. It was at least 2019, which feels
Yeah.
wrong. But anyway, I think we're due for that later this year too. So big things to come. And in the meantime, yeah, we swear we'll cover like these last 4 episodes of Korra. Eventually, we're not procrastinating on purpose. Just some, standard summer things. So, yeah, Chris, any other final thoughts? Anything to wrap up?
I okay, good. Sorry. I'm looking at the little meter you have there and I haven't paid attention to my line
To like
yet.
if
And I
it's
was like, if
actually
I don't
moving this time, yeah.
yeah. No, look anyway. No real things, looking forward to the future.
Go watch the Warner Bros. Trailer of their free to play brawler. That's really
Oh, it
cool.
looks so good. It looks and
It's
then
it's
I
free to
feel like I'm
play, so
diving.
I'm not gonna play it, right? Just out of like an adamant like stomping my foot
Oh,
like
it's
a
free to play
child.
right now?
No, no, it's going to be a free to play game. Like, it's that
Oh, really?
that I don't know. That's what the thing said. Whatever the video you sent me said. So I
Yeah,
like a
okay.
child throwing a tantrum. Like I won't play it, which is kind of funny. It's free to play, so I won't play it, which is funny from a cheapskate. But no, it does. They did a really nice job, and even incorporating like meme culture with the Shaggy power level thing, like that was great. So yeah, go watch that video. That was good.
Yeah, great trailer.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for bearing with us through a few weird weeks, but we'll be back on regular schedule next week with Operation Beifong. I think one of those
Yep.
that we already did, but then we'll do again because Sean's dumb. Thank you guys so much for watching Avatar: The Last Podcasters. Be sure to give us whatever. We're super appreciative of whatever kind of thumbs ups or likes or comments or reviews, constructive or positive. Positive's better, constructive also good. That you will leave us. We'd really appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm Sean. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter semi-fame, and we'll see you next time.